Всем привет, друзья! С вами Фиеста. И я, как всегда, продолжаю проходить Шерлока Холмса. И у нас очередное дело по плану, которое будет называться «Прогулка в лунном свете». Ну что ж, приступаем.
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson.
We have. Where to?
To the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet.
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu, entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Ah, sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
Ah, I can hear them on the stairs now.
Oh, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes!
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes, it's my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, because I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
And forget about the dinner? Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
Так, ну что ж, не будем остановиться при себе и говорить со свидетелем. Ну, давайте осмотрим сначала тело, а потом уже поговорим с его братом. Допросим сразу свидетелей. И посмотрим, что же за убийство тут произошло. Так. О, парниша. Ага, нет, стоп, это выход. Нам сюда. Так. Такое чувство, что сейчас кто-то по голове сзади даст. И отберет кошелек. Ага. Нашли.
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Mara. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving.
Так, ну давайте зададим 2 вопроса, которые у нас тут имеются, про жертвы.
Who were the victims?
The 2 men here, both shot. The stabbed fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweler by trade.
Так, допустим. А про свидетелей? Что тут есть, были вообще?
You spoke of
Скажи.
statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
Показания спросим.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
Так, ладно, а что за выстрелы?
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
Фейерверк.
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course.
Ладно, наблюдение за Half Moon Street.
Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
Так, ладно. Окно мистера Тернера.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me.
Так, осмотрим тела. Потом еще допросим двух свидетелей. Так, рука.
He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death was not instant.
Так, понятно, не была мгновенной. Что
The
с
bullet
раной?
penetrated his stomach. A dreadful wound.
Ага, ну да.
A
Татуировка.
tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vacotti must have done some time there.
Так, еще что-то есть. Голову посмотрим.
Brian Vacotti suffered greatly. What a terrible way to die.
Так, а со второй жертвой что у нас тут? Привет, Богдан. Спасибо, спасибо. Хотел написать удачного стресса.
The
Так, рана
bullet
на
struck
голове.
his head. This man didn't stand a chance.
Так, что еще тут у нас? Смотрим. Так, левый карман. Опа, ключик.
This is an ordinary
Золотой
key.
ключик.
I wonder what kind of door it opens.
Так, что тут еще есть? Так, плиты. Что у нас тут? Деревяшка.
A piece of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look.
Так, деревяшка. Что за деревяшка?
This
Сломанная
shard of
металла.
wood is quite new.
Ага. Ну, найдем это применение. Допросить еще там два. Так, допросить.
I'll do anything to save my brother, Mr. Holmes.
Так, ну давайте вот с этим поговорим.
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective gentleman? I've heard of you. And well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story?
Так, ну, прежде чем послушать его историю, его показания, надо его осмотреть. Так, что у нас тут? Ничего, ничего. Опа. Медаль. Ветеран войны. Не хватает пуговицы, так, бедняк. Угу. Так, ну а теперь послушаем его показания.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
Угу. Так, кто-нибудь еще?
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Угу. Так, а слышал 2 разных выстрела.
Were the 2 shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment.
Угу. Так, что было после побега?
Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
Угу. Так, у нас уже появляются некие улики. Так, разные выстрелы, 2 убитых. Нет. Разные. Так, мистер Тёр слышал 2 выстрела друг с другом. Второй прозвучал громче, чем первый. Мнение Тернера. Мистер Тёр настаивает, что стоял у окна, пока... темное окно. Противоречивые показания. Мистер Тёр настаивает, что стоял у окна до прибытия полиции. Однако это противоречит показаниям констебля Мэроу, который не видел никого у окна. Так, ладно. Пойдемте поговорим еще с продавщицей цветов.
Mrs. Powell?
What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
Так, давайте... Ага, ее даже нельзя смотреть. Ну, тогда сразу перейдем к показаниям.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes, yes. I was selling my flowers as usual, and then the fireworks began, in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand. He was like a ghost, and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him, because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
Угу. Так, что за про выстрелы?
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the fireworks?
Угу. Ладно. Кто-нибудь еще?
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
My thanks to you, Mrs. Powell.
Так, ладно. Я так полагаю, теперь нам надо вернуться... Так, проверить вид из его квартиры. Ну ладно. Давайте. Так, противоречие в показаниях.
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime, is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
Так. Блин. Ключ от двери. Кусок деревяшки. Блин, не то.
Yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
Как я так клацнул случайно. Так, вот противоречие.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
Mr. Turner appears to live very modestly.
Так, ну, осмотримся.
This fire is dying out. It was last tended to over an hour ago.
Так, тут что-то лежит. Огонь. Золо. Жженая бумага.
The papers are almost entirely burned. I am unable to see what's written here.
А тут?
These words are illegible. The papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago.
Ага. По-любому что-то хотел спрятать. Так, что у нас тут?
Mr. Turner was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots.
Ага. Ну, тут больше ничего такого нет. Книжные полки.
The books on this shelf are in a mess. It looks as though Mr. Turner was trying to find something in a hurry here a short while ago.
Все может быть. Трость. Опа.
This walking stick is broken. It was placed here quite recently. A perfect match. So, Mr. Turner broke his stick when it became stuck between the cobblestones. He did not mention that he was so near to the victims.
Опачки. Так, сейчас мы его об этом спросим. Так. Опа, столик. Посмотрим на него. Привет, привет. Да это же я, пупс.
This kitchen knife is quite sharp.
Так, что тут еще есть? Это ничего тут нету. Кухонный стол, отбросы. Резаная бумага.
There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. This kitchen knife was used to cut the paper.
Посмотрим, что же видно
So,
из окна.
That's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window. The dead body of Kenneth Butler.
Так, ну это понятно.
Brian Vercotti's contorted corpse. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them.
Сначала он... Нет, встал. Так, стопэ. Сначала встал с кровати. Так, был уже с тростью. Так. Встал с кровати. Подошел, наверное, сюда. Разрезал бумагу ножом. Вот так вот, наверное. Вот так вот. Вот так вот. И вот так вот. Ну, я не знаю. Сначала встал. Так, спустился. Опа. Пошел сюда. Положил трость. Взял, нарезал. Выкинул.
No, it didn't happen
Не,
this
не
way.
так. Наверное, встал сначала. Подошел сюда. Спустился вниз. Что-то забрал. Бумагу ножом. Вот так тогда. Так, сейчас будем тут париться. Опа. С тростью вернулся сюда. Так. Подтопал сюда. Положил трость. Нарезал.
So Mr. Turner
вот,
used
that's
a
right.
book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find?
Так, ну, сейчас мы это найдем. Так, жирные отпечатки.
I can see prints from greasy fingers upon the cover of this book. Let us take a closer look.
Моби Дик.
Well
Опачки.
now, what a find! A precious jewel concealed inside a book. A bracelet with a unique ram's head design, a distinctive feature of ancient Grecian artifacts, probably of the Hellenistic era.
Ну, неплохо. Я так понимаю, надо теперь с ним поговорить.
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself, to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to move very quickly, despite my age. And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
Так. Старинный браслет. Нет, не оно. Я думал, мы сейчас скажем, что нашли старинный браслет.
I'm able to move very quickly, despite
Ну,
my
тогда
age.
хромота.
And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
Тогда хромота.
I highly doubt that, Mr. Turner. I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg. It would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something. But it did seem to me that everything happened so quickly. Time can pull tricks on you.
And what of everything else that you told us? Mr. Turner, it is vital that we have your complete and true statement.
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
А вот теперь старинный
Mr.
браслет.
Turner, you were not sincere with me. Not then and not now.
But Mr. Holmes...
This, Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess. It is worth more than the home that you live in.
I can explain.
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw Leighton Chapman through the window, but you also noticed a glittering object on the ground, this precious jewel. You walked down and took the bracelet from the body of Kenneth Butler, and when you heard the whistles, you hurried away. That broke your walking stick. It caught fast between the cobbles. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window as you were climbing up the stairs on your way back to your flat. Upon returning home, you hid the precious jewel inside a book.
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I didn't do anything bad. I'm just a poor man. When I chanced upon the bracelet, I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money. I was desperate. I only took the bracelet, that's all, I swear.
You made a mistake by lying to me. But you are not a criminal. I believe that. Although I must return this bracelet to its rightful owner.
Эх, ладно. Я так понимаю, надо, потому что старинным браслетом так. Угу. Ну, здесь уже, я так понимаю, нам пока делать нечего. Угу. Ну, тогда отправляемся... Так, это в архиве, потом найдем. Отправимся в Скотланд-Ярд, посмотрим личные вещи и поговорим с подозреваемым.
Mr. Holmes, whatever brings you here so late at night?
I'm interested in the case of young Leighton Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Who knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room. The suspect himself is in custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Lestrade.
Угу. Так, пойдемте. Оп, не сюда. Стоп, нам сюда. Так, личные вещи Лейтона. Посмотрим, что у него там.
So
Этот
this is the
револьвер.
gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon. It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder.
Так, что... Опа.
It's...
А, нет, показалось. Ага. 2 патронов не хватает.
2 out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots.
Так, еще улики появились. Так, ну это... Сюда двойное убийство. Так, Кеннет Батлер и Брайан Веркати. Жертвы двойного убийства, совершенного одним человеком. Это который зашел разные выстрелы. Так. Одновременные выстрелы. Тернер выстрелы показались разными, потому что их было 3. Сначала прозвучал одиночно, а затем 2 одновременно. Расположение стрелков. Тернеру выстрелы показались разными, потому что их сделали из разных частей хвоста. если так. Но это пока еще не. Так, что у нас за человек, которому... Так, не это, не оно. Вот так. Бесспорные улики. Показания свидетелей и орудия убийства указывают на то, что виновник Клейтон Чампа. Ну, это еще мало доказывает его вину. Поэтому будем осматривать вещи дальше, и еще с ним надо поговорить.
These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco. Nothing interesting. A cheap watch, bought with his own money, no doubt.
Mr. Holmes?
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Так, ну, сейчас мы его допросим.
Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are innocent, as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
Так, ну прежде чем расскажешь, я тебя осмотрю. Так, синяк под глазом вижу. Шрам. Так, синяк, тут его били. Угу. Так, что еще? Опа! Та же татуировка, что и на убитом была. Ну, а теперь расскажи историю свою.
Good. Tell me your account of what happened.
I left my work and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw two men. They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person. He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun, but he made a dash for it instead and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
Угу. Так, время вернуться.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still alive. I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand though. I took it. And then I followed the third man.
Так, продолжай.
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner, and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then, Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I said, but I swear to you, my words are true. I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. And then I was caught by the police. But there wasn't a trace of that man. Of course, then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man.
Угу. Так, что за третий человек вообще? Расскажи.
Leighton, are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It was too dark, and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing a jacket. He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps... It's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
Странно. Ладно, почему последовали за мной?
Leighton, I confess I am puzzled. Why should a young lad like you take a gun from the hands of a dead man and set off in pursuit of a probable killer?
I know. I keep wondering that, but at the time it was like a reflex. A criminal ought to be arrested, and he was armed.
You were willing to risk your life. That was a little foolish, unless you wanted revenge.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
Ага. Татуировка. Так, ключ от двери нет. А, вот узники, вот оно.
I'm sure that you were, but I believe that you may have recognized one of the victims, Brian Vercotti. You knew that gentleman well, did you not?
However could you know that?
You have a typical tattoo of the Westgate Brotherhood upon your hand. I observed exactly the same mark upon Mr. Vercotti. You came to know him from your sharing a past prison sentence. Am I correct, Mr. Chapman?
Oh, God. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Так, понятно. Теперь почему он взял пистолет?
Would you tell me a little about Brian Vercotti?
We were convicted for a robbery. Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities. During that year, we tried to help each other out, you know?
You were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat. After we were released, and when I saw what my little brother had become, I decided to work towards living an honest life.
And Vercotti?
He had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary while he was in prison. He had no family anymore. Our paths split. He fell back into crime.
So you lost him?
Yes. And for around 2 years, I heard no news of him at all.
We shall see you soon, young man.
Так, у нас уже появились еще некие улики. Общее заключение туда. Ага, значит вот это. Так, вымышленный человек. Человек, описанный Лейтоном Чапманом. Плод его воображения, созданный, чтобы оправдать себя. Ну, все может быть. Так, это сюда. Личный мотив. Жестокое убийство. Так, было совершено Лейтоном Чапманом по мотивам личной вражды. Так, нет, стоп. Нет. Уже можно его обвинить, но это не так. Так, понятно. Так, что мне тут... Узнайте больше о старинном расследовании. Возможно, ага, так, ну прежде чем осмотреть их тела, вернемся на Бейкер-стрит, поищем в архиве все, что мы сможем найти об этом браслете. Так, старинный золотой браслет, найденный в квартире Терна, украшен головами. Старинный браслет. Ну, это не химия. Так, 30 положил. Знаки и символы. Божественный сигнал. Нет, это не то. Череп и кости. Энциклопедия. Вот тут может быть, кстати, искусство и архитектура. экономика, технология, история.
That is not. That is.
И где мне искать этот старинный браслет?
That is. That is. That is. That is.
Так, ну технология нет, экономика, искусство,
That is.
Вот тут
That
можно
is not.
попробовать.
That is.
А, вот, старинное. Это прекрасное старинное украшение является частью коллекции сокровища эллинизма. 5 голов овнов изображены на браслете, ожерелье и кольце. Каждая выполнена из чистого золота. Раз, два, три, четыре, пять. Ага, вот они. 5 овнов Митилена были похищены из музея в 1885 году.
Here it is. I need to continue my research in my archives.
Так, прочитать статью о древностях. Тоже прикольно. Так, 1800 какой? 85-й. Вот оно. Вероломная кража. Вчера вечером во время перевозки из Британского музея на выставку изобразительного искусства в Гласфорде были похищены сокровища эллинизма. Владелец ломбарда Кеннет Батлер связался с полицией и рассказал о джентльмене, попытавшемся продать ему коллекцию старинных вещей, принесенную в его ломбард на Чорч-стрит. Полиция вскоре задержала подходящего под описание мужчину. Им оказался профессиональный грабитель Винсент Волли, как раз предпринявший попытку сбежать из Лондона через порт. Его опознал выживший водитель кэба, в котором перевозили сокровища эллинизма. Винсент Волли отказался сообщить, где именно он спрятал украденные драгоценности. Ему назначили тюремный срок. Украденные сокровища до сих пор не обнаружены.
Here it is. One of the victims, Kenneth Butler, was involved in the story of the stolen Hellenistic treasures. A visit to his pawn shop should tell me more.
Так, ломбард. Ну давайте отправимся в этот ломбард. Допросим продавца там. Да. Так, ух ты. Ватсон, ты что там? Заходи сюда. Мне одному страшно. Так, стоп. Где этот ломбард еще? Его найти надо. Так, это вот этот ломбард? А ну. Опачки. Отлично. Ну давайте осмотримся так не аккуратненько. Так, альпинистское снаряжение.
Crampons and a sharp ice axe would only be brought here by a mountaineer.
Угу. Ну, неплохо. Может, это уже намек, где спрятаны сокровища. Где-то кто-то залазил. Так, полка. Смотрим. Ракетница.
Perhaps it was pawned by a destitute sailor.
Так. Прилавок. Осмотрим прилавок. Очки. Голова. Опачки.
The ram's heads. This necklace belongs to the 5 rams of Michelin collection. Interesting. That means that Kenneth Butler owned a part of this collection all this time, 10 years after the theft.
Неплохо, нашли вторую. Сокровище второе. Осталось найти только кольцо. Так. Здорово, Кеннет. Помнится, ты как-то сказал мне о 3 украшениях золотые с головами онов из Древней Греции. Они еще у тебя? У меня хорошая новость. Я нашел человека с деньгами, который сходит с ума по таким штукам. Он готов отвалить небольшое состояние. Я могу устроить тебе встречу с этим денежным мешком, но ты поделишься заработком. Буду ждать тебя на углу Большой аллеи на Халф-Мун-стрит в воскресенье вечером до начала салюта. Опачки. Так, понеслась. Что, нет? Я думал с тем связать. Так, смотрим. Мотив грабеж. Личный мотив. Жестокое убийство на Халф-Мун-стрит было совершено... Нет. Мотив грабеж. Так, обретение исчезнувших сокровищ эллинизма могло стать мотивом убийства, совершенного. Так, мистер Тернер забрал браслет сразу после преступления, но кольцо до сих пор не найдено. Так, не, ну это еще не ограбление. Так, это еще тоже не подходит ничего. Тут еще вот что-то... Ага, правый. Бухгалтерская книга. Угу. Ну, давайте тогда вернемся на место происшествия, место преступления. Будем расследовать дело дальше. Так, ну, нам сюда. Сейчас попробуем тут все это дело представить. Включим воображение.
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for my brother to be released.
Your brother?
The one that you caught, beat up and imprisoned.
Ah, the murderer.
He ain't killed no one, copper.
Watch your mouth, lad, else you'll be joining that worthless brother of yours.
Так. Ага. Вода стрельнула ему в живот. Этот упал. Не, наверное, наоборот было. Стрелок был вот этот. Блин, снайпер.
I am unable to see any higher. I need to find something to lift my lamp.
Предмет, предмет. Так, так, так. О, нашел. Отлично.
This should be useful.
Сейчас узнаем, кто из них стрелял дважды.
Nothing interesting here.
Ага. Значит, дважды стрелял. Так, так, так. Осмотрим стену. Нашел.
This is most definitely a bullet hole. The brick cracks are fresh. Watson, there was a third shot fired in this street.
Так, смотрим. Третий выстрел, двое убитых. Перестрелка. Двойное убийство. Так, Кеннет Батлер и Брайан Вектор погибли при перекрестной стрельбе. У обоих были пистолеты. Один из них исчез. Двойное убийство. Кеннет Батлер и Брайан Вектор жертвы одного убийства, совершенного одним человеком. Не. Вот так было. О, блин. Ну, блин, ну здесь убийство-то двойное было. Не, перестрелка все-таки. Если так, а если туда-сюда. Так, ага, значит еще надо вот так сделать. Исчезнувший человек. Заявление Лэйтона Чампа о одетом в пиджак человеке, сбежавшем с места преступления, выглядит правдоподобно. 3 выстрела доказывают наличие второго пистолета, не обнаруженного до сих пор. И это нам говорит, что поговорить с констеблем. Ага, давайте с ним поговорим.
Constable Marrow, I would value your assistance in this investigation.
It would be my pleasure, Mr. Holmes.
I would like to make sure that there are no places in Half Moon Street where a man could hide while you were running through it with your lamp.
All right, Mr. Holmes, what should I do?
Take your lamp and start walking, just as you did before, and try to find me.
Understood.
Так, а что мне делать-то, ё-моё? Я за этого играю.
I shouldn't look for Mr. Holmes here. He's hiding in Half Moon Street.
Блин, как эта лампа еле светит.
I can see you very well, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place to hide.
Кстати, ну да, вот так, если бы я не зашел, я бы его не заметил. Я бы его не заметил. О, здорово.
Mr. Holmes.
All right, Constable. Let's try again. I'll find another place.
Это просто пипец. Это Орева. Так, ну я думаю, что он в одном и том же месте 2 раза не будет прятаться. Так, смотрим, смотрим. Главное, ничего не упустить.
Mr. Holmes, it wasn't difficult to find you at all.
Не, ну это реально легко.
No one could escape Constable Marrow's lamp while hiding in the street.
Так, и что это нам дает? Так, это нам дает вверх по стене. Если мы примем, что на Хаус-стрит в момент убийства был еще один человек, то он мог удрать только вверх по стене. Смоделируем его действия, устроим похожую вспышку и вскарабкаемся по стене. Ну давайте попробуем. О, это легко. Да, в ломбард нам надо вернуться. Это находится все там. И лестница, и снаряжение, все это находится все там. Так. Снаряга. А вот она.
Exactly what I need to climb the wall.
Я так понимаю, лестницу, да, нам надо, или что нам? А, ракетница. Ракетница была тут. Все, вот я думал, лестницу
This
надо.
is exactly what we need in order to imitate the flash of the fireworks.
Ну, все, теперь можно возвращаться назад. На Half Moon Street. И будем пытаться все это изображать. Так, только что там делать там?
Why are you looking at me all the time like that?
I'm just watching you, lad. I never know what to expect from people like you.
People like me?
Yes, street beggars and thieves.
I ain't a thief.
Oh, no? Then where did you get whatever it is that you're gnawing on? I very much doubt that you bought it.
What ain't seen can't hardly be stolen.
Так, ну тогда будем имитировать фейерверк.
Constable Marrow, Watson, I would like to perform another kind of reenactment with your help.
I'm listening, Mr. Holmes.
I want to check if Leighton's testimony can be trusted. If someone could vanish into thin air at a specific moment.
But Holmes, I don't see how.
I am going to be the mysterious gentleman whom Leighton followed. I will stand exactly where he saw him before he was blinded by the flash. Watson, you will be Leighton. When I fire the signal flare, you should start to chase me.
I understand, Holmes.
You, Constable Marrow, just play your part and do exactly as you did. Just, please, wait 5 seconds after the signal flare. I doubt that Polly Powell would have screamed any earlier.
As you say, Mr. Holmes.
Let us begin then. Catch me if you can.
Так, блин, а что мне это делать?
This wall is cast in shadow. It would be difficult to see anyone scaling it.
Ага. Опа! Так. А, вон оно, что надо делать.
I can barely see anything.
Хух, еле успел.
Holmes? Are you there?
Так, отлично. Давай.
I should try climbing faster.
Что это клацать надо? Давай, быстрее клацать надо. Там какая-то кнопка была, я ни хрена не понял, что это за кнопка была.
Holmes? Are you there?
Давай.
My God, a man can't just disappear like that. Holmes? Holmes? Where are you?
I cannot see you, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson, it seems that Mr. Holmes has disappeared.
Don't worry, gentlemen, I am up here, above your heads.
How on earth did you get up there, Holmes?
I am using crampons and a climbing axe, although the person we are looking for did not leave any traces of such tools. Constable, is there any way to get to the top of this building?
Yes, Mr. Holmes, I can show you. The door to the building can be found from Whitechapel Street.
Gentlemen, I am on my way down.
Так, отлично.
This is the back door of the building with the attic floor that you required, Mr. Holmes.
Так, осмотримся тогда тут мы. Может быть, что-то найдем. Опа.
These shards of glass are from the window above. It's empty. Someone broke through the window to get inside the attic. but in his haste he ripped his jacket.
Ага. Так, пиджак. Черные нити. Ну да, это я заметил сразу.
They're unusually strong. I should examine them under the microscope. We can conclude that the person whom Leighton saw climbed up the wall, broke into the attic window, and escaped through the hatch.
Тогда показания его правдивы. Так, тогда что здесь? Невиновность, конечно. Тогда тут что, двойное убийство? Не. Невиновность Лейтона. Так, ну да, невиновность. Ну то потом, я думаю, что у нас еще улики получится. Так, тогда возвращаемся, я так понимаю, домой. Да, требуется анализ. Ну, пойдемте. Проведем этот анализ. Этих нитей. Так. А ну, кстати, я хочу в телескоп глянуть. Ой, красотка, все еще стоит. Он, походу, и днем и ночью стоит и смотрит сюда. Так, допустим.
It is not a thread, but a hair. I very much doubt that it is human. I need to compare this sample with a human hair and a horse hair. A shaving brush is usually made from horsehair. Watson, could you please pass me your shaving brush?
Here you are.
Watson, look, what's outside the window?
Well, I don't see anything. Ouch! Holmes!
Oh, don't make such a fuss. One little hair.
Так, человеческий волос.
Is significantly thinner than the black sample. This is a most unusual
Это непонятно, что за волос, а это что? Конский волос.
The horse hair is thinner than the hair that we found. So, this black hair belongs to an animal, and it is larger than a horse. A hair from a large and exotic animal.
Ну, интересно, интересно. Так, цирковой акробат, вымышленный человек. Цирковой акробат. Тогда уже двойное убийство, перестрелка, если. Так, вот так вот было. Фокус с исчезновением. Человек, замеченный только Лейтоном Чампом, сбежал с места преступления, вскарабкавшись по стене. Он умелый акробат, у него был пистолет от одной из жертв. Только вот что делать теперь? Уиггинс. Уиггинс стоит, ё-моё. Он вот тут находится. Я вспомнил, где он стоит. Ну, по крайней мере, там стоял.
Wiggins, my lad, what are you doing here? You'd best be leaving and be quick about it.
I've done nothing wrong. You'd learn more by watching Mr. Holmes. He knows exactly what he's doing. Not like you.
Oi, watch your tongue.
Так. Пойдемте с ним поговорим.
Mr. Holmes?
We have good news for you, Wiggins. The investigation has proven very interesting so far. We found facts and details that confirm your brother's innocence.
I knew it, Mr. Holmes.
But for now, Wiggins, we need your help.
Anything you like, Gov.
I need you to locate a circus that has stopped over in London. It needs to have disposed of at least one exotic animal, a very large one.
You can count on me, Mr. Holmes.
Интересно. Будет посмотреть на этого акробата, который без помощи снаряжения смог туда залезть, конечно.
I do hope that those children don't get into trouble, Holmes.
Don't worry, Watson. I predict some news in 7 seconds.
Mr. Holmes, we found it. Here it is.
Так, посмотрим. Оп, слон.
And this is a young Indian elephant, the highlight of the show. Duval Brothers, a well-known travelling circus that is currently stopped in London. I believe that is exactly the type of circus we are looking for. I'll pay it a visit.
Так, ну, давайте цирк братьев Дюваль. Отправимся туда. Интересно, билеты покупать надо будет, чтобы туда пройти.
Hey, you! Stop right there.
Good morning, sir. Pardon me, but why am I not allowed to walk around here?
Because it's private.
Well, I only wanted to meet the artistes.
Hmm? You're wanting to apply for... Nah. You don't look like the type of, artistic lockpicker that we're looking for.
You might be surprised.
What? Nah. I don't think so. Clear off. You're a bit slow to catch on, eh? Get lost. You're a bit slow to catch on, eh?
И что мне делать тогда?
You're a bit slow to catch on, eh?
Для похода в цирк у сына лица. Ага, все, понял. Так, сейчас наденем маскировку и придем. Так, пойдемте в нашу комнату. Так, нет. Так. Очки. Усы и борода. Надо что-нибудь такого смешное для цирка. Так. Ну, давайте вот так, что ли. И что-нибудь еще на себя накинем. Повседневный, черный, коричневый, зеленый, серый. Так, это не бандит, фермер, халат, моряк. На распашку. Повседневный. Да, моряк, халат. Черный, коричневый, зеленый, серый, бандит. Фермер. Ну давайте вот так, что ли. Закрыто, вот увидел. Закрыто, закрыто. Ну вот так давайте, я не знаю. Подойдет, что там мне надо было. Потрепанный сюртук и шляпа подойдут. Потрепанный сюртук. А у меня есть такое? Это одежда повседневная. Ну, попробуем, короче, так. Надеюсь, что прокатит. А, бандита тогда надо одеть костюм. Там вроде был. О, вот. А ну-ка. Надеюсь, что сейчас прокатит. Блин, очки. Зачем я очки тебе одел? Ладно, тогда поменяем. Опа. Ну так тогда. Надеюсь... А, нет, шляпа все-таки нужна. Ну, давайте тогда так. Думал, только усы подойдут. Но...
Stay where you are. What are you doing here, and where is Sherlock Holmes?
Calm down, Watson. Take deep breaths now. It's me.
Oh, thank God, Holmes. I can't get used to your disguises.
Thank you, Watson. That means I am ready to go.
Так, ну, отправляемся. Если Ватсон нас не узнал, теперь будет все супер.
Who are you? What's your name?
My name is Nigel. I'm here to open the locks.
Talented, eh? Let's see. Go inside the marquee and show yourself to Charles Foley. And I'd highly advise you not to trick him. Got that?
I've got it.
Отлично.
Charles.
Так, а мы тут осмотреться можем? Или нам сразу надо идти? Так, да, я думаю, тут нифига нету такого интересного. Да, осмотреть ничего здесь нельзя, поэтому идемте сразу вовнутрь.
So, everything is here, just as you asked. And what about the money? Some of the barrels are wet. Transportation issues, it couldn't be helped. Whatever. We'll be here after midnight to pick up the supplies. I want to be paid first. No. You'll be paid after we make the transfer, as I said. Right? I hope that no one saw you. The police are on the lookout. Of course not. I'm a professional. Glad to hear it. Be ready for tonight, then.
Так, вот а теперь можно и осмотреться. Печатный станок, а ну-ка.
This printing press is old, but still quite capable of printing hundreds of pages per day. That's a picture of a contemporary gentleman wearing a Robin Hood hat. Interesting.
Прикольно.
From lambs into lions. Those are words of encouragement and defiance. This poster was clearly made to fire up rebellion amongst the people.
Так, ладно, забрал.
There are enough posters to paste across half of London's walls.
Может, они какой-то бунт хотят сделать? Так, бочки.
This wooden barrel is damaged. It is difficult to say what is inside. There is a spot on this barrel that was intentionally painted out.
Так, опа, герб.
Crest of the Honorable Artillery Company. Could it be gunpowder? I need to be sure. Judging by the fractions and the scent, I can confirm that it is, in fact, gunpowder.
Так, и что это они хотят
The
сделать?
barrels are roughly clustered. It seems as though they were brought here in a hurry. Powder kegs, a printing press, and a great many blank papers. All of this was stolen by the merry men quite recently. And these poster samples. I am quite sure it is not a coincidence. The merry men are planning some sort of sabotage.
Stop right there. Who are you?
Are you Charles Foley?
Maybe.
They say that I can open any door.
Do they now? We'll see that lock near the chains on the table over there. Open that.
Так, давайте его осмотрим. Этого бандюгана. Так, ключ какой-то. Сложный сейф. Так, опа. Это, скорее всего, этот и есть акробат. Пистолет вооружен. Головорез. Да ты шо, вот это последнее сокровище из той коллекции. Нашелся, гад. Так. Старинное кольцо. Мужчина в пиджаке. У Чарльза Фолли есть старинное кольцо, исчезнувшее часть коллекции 5 овнов метилены, а также револьвер за поясом. Это доказывает, что Чарльз Фолли и есть тот человек, сбежавший с места преступления на Хальф-Мун-стрит. Так, продвигаемся к делу. Так, где этот замок? Ага, вот он. Давайте его взломаем. Так. Ага. Отлично. А теперь давайте с ним поговорим.
Well, they're right. What's your name?
Nigel Shirley, from York.
Nigel from York. Never heard anything about you. How'd you hear about me?
Так, как я узнал о тебе? Пойманный вор, противоречие терна, ключ от двери. Пойманный вор.
It's a long story. I met your brother, Vincent the Butcher Foley, in prison. He told me all about his betrayal and all about you. Before I was released, he told me that you might find a job for me one day and pay me some money for my craft.
Well, he died 7 days ago in prison.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's all right. The traitor has paid the blood price for it. And you'll do the job anyway, because I need a talented lockpicker. I know just where to search for his legacy.
It's all about the Hellenistic treasures, isn't it?
Osh, you fool. Now, listen up. You'll come with us tonight, and you better mind yourself.
Us? Wait, who's coming then?
Billy, Jack and me.
And what will I get for that?
We'll share the loot. The one you seem to know about.
Right.
Wait for us at the abandoned manor house on a corner of Ladbroke Grove and Kensington Park Road at midnight.
Deal.
Неплохо. Так, тут уже на дело идем. Отлично. Особняк в Ноттинг-Хилл. Интересно, интересно, что сейчас будет.
Here I am at the manor. Somewhere inside it are the Hellenistic treasures.
Так понимаю, мне надо сейчас тут все взламывать.
This lock is quite old.
Так, смотрим. Так, что-то тут не сходится у меня где-то. Какой-то не слишком сложный, сказал замок. Так, блин. Блин, как же тут это все соединить-то? Так. Отлично, наконец-то. Аллилуйя.
I need to find where the safe is hidden and lockpick it.
Так, надо сначала осмотреться, прежде чем... Туда же и надо сейф еще найти. Опа, что-то есть.
This cupboard is an absolute mess. Several books have fallen from the shelves. It seems as though this cupboard can be moved.
Похоже, нашел. Да ты шо?
So, that's the lock I must open tonight. Let me see.
Да ё-моё. Как же мне нравятся эти замки вскрывать. Просто. Сойти с ума можно. Так, идет. Так, идет сюда, туда. Чуть-чуть неровно она. Отлично.
What a surprise. Another lock. And I won't be able to pick it. I recall that precious key around Foley's neck. It might prove a decent fit. I suppose they hired me to only open the first lock. Let us wait for the thieves, trap them, and find out.
Интересно.
Let us check the thieves' possible escape routes in the event that they are caught off guard by the police from the front door. This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency.
Так, а как мне установить ловушку? Опа, опа.
I wonder what this old chandelier is doing on the... I suppose that the thieves already... The thieves won't attempt to escape through the front door.
Так.
Although this
Окно.
window is high above the ground, it would be possible for one of the thieves to attempt to use it for their escape.
Да ты что-то нашел?
A simple but rather attractive bead necklace. This should be useful.
Так, я так понимаю, это мы разбросим на полу. Ну, не тут, конечно. Опа, опа. Или тут-то.
This is the... One step on these beads, and our thief will go flying. I should walk carefully here, else my plan will be ruined.
Так, теперь надо что сделать с тем парнем.
The ground floor window is a perfect way to escape the police. This hatch leads to a cellar.
Так, ну с тем все понятно уже.
Any thief who finds his way upstairs will roll down very quickly. This hat.
Так, не, это я уже смотрел. Вот тут что у нас?
This door leads to a kitchen, which holds the shortest route to the back door.
Требуется предмет. Блин, а что мне надо искать-то? Опа. Веревка.
This should be...
Отлично. Я так понимаю, это сюда.
The door is now blocked.
Здорово. Опс, шкаф. А что со шкафом?
That is quite a... This works very well. No one will escape through this window now.
Так, осталось только люк. С люком что-то сделать. Вот что.
There is no ladder. If anyone falls here, he will need assistance to get out. This hatch leads to a...
Так, и что мне делать? Что мне с этим люком делать? Я же взял веревку. А, не взял веревку.
This should be useful.
Я подумал, что я уже взял веревку. А ну, попробуем.
This hatch.
Угу. Не хочет.
The door...
Так, а что мне сделать тогда тут? А ну-ка. А ну-ну-ну.
Now, if anyone takes the hammer, the rope will uncoil and make the chandelier fall.
Так,
If he runs
смотрим.
through the dining room and takes a sledgehammer to force open the door, the chandelier will knock him down.
Отлично.
This door is a perfect means of escape in an emergency.
Требуется предмет. Вот какой мне надо найти предмет? А ну-ка. Что-то, может, еще упускаю я. Может, еще стул-то нет. Так, пока ничего не вижу. Опа. Нашел тебя, родимый коверчик. А теперь...
Now, it's not an open hatch, just a nice carpet on the floor. I should walk carefully here, else my plan will be ruined.
А ну, а ну.
Now, if a thief runs through the kitchen, he'll pay a surprise visit to the cellar. The traps for my circus companions are all prepared. I can leave now, but I'll return later with Charles Foley and his companions.
Ну, посмотрим, что сейчас произойдет. Мне аж интересно, как они туда попадутся тоже. На это хочется посмотреть.
Police! Police!
Даже не показали, конечно.
Stop where you are! Where are they?
Trapped, Watson, with your assistance.
How so?
You sounded just like a real Bobby, my dear fellow. You startled them into the traps.
I did?
I assure you, Watson, it was quite an entertaining show. They will not escape the house now.
You scum!
And this is the pistol used for the murder in Half Moon Street.
How do you know about that?
Have you closed the case yet, Sherlock?
Mycroft, what are you doing here? Did you follow me?
Sherlock, it may seem that I used you, but you should be pleased to know that you have served our queen well, in this instance. So now, let us catch the big fish. But this man is not one of the merry men?
No.
Then why exactly are we here, Sherlock?
This gentleman, Charles Foley, has been involved in a double murder, and the hunter of a set of valuable antiques, the Hellenistic treasures, which disappeared in a theft many years ago.
You're no better than the coppers!
Так, посмотрим. Что же находится в этом сейфе?
Holmes, that is incredible. The Hellenistic treasures.
Indeed.
Nothing but trifles. Where are the merry men?
I don't know why you are asking me, Mycroft. They are yours to find.
I'll see you soon, dear brother.
Так, посмотрим, что у нас тут за улики появились. Сокровища в сейфе, пропавшие предметы искусства. Спрятанная коллекция. Древности, обнаруженные внутри тайного сейфа в особняке Ноттинг-Хилл, являются частью коллекции сокровищ эллинизма, похищенной в 1885 году. Месть Волли. Чарльз Фолли организовал кражу сокровища эллинизма, из-за которых произошло двойное убийство на Халфмут-стрит. Лейтон Чампан стал свидетелем преступления. Оправдать Фолли. Чарльз Фолли получит тюремный срок за кражу, однако он не виновен в убийстве, поэтому заключение будет осудить Фолли. Чарльз Фолли организовал и воплотил хитрый план мести, к которому добавил кражу старинных и ценных сокровищ. Он заслужил так виселицы. Вот так вот.
Charles Foley, you committed the crime of premeditated murder and of theft. You will be severely punished for your deeds.
You are pitiful, you Scotland Yard dog.
Save your words for the gallows. I'm sure the journalists will love them. I shall leave now, Watson. Gentlemen, please take our friends here into custody.
Where are you going?
I have unfinished business. I'll see you at Baker Street.
Так, мне аж интересно, что еще не законченное дело какое. Поговорить с Уиггинсом?
Be careful with the lamps. Don't bring them too close to the barrels.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Who's there?
That is
да.
of no importance. What matters is who you are and the plans that you have here.
So you can stop us from carrying them out?
Eventually, yes.
Hey, careful. You'll blow us all up.
I'm listening.
We are a group known as the Merry Men. But I suppose you knew that already. We are the men who've already lost everything of value in their lives. We are ruined shopkeepers. We are workers who were fired from their jobs. Honest people who were robbed. We were forced out from our homes and thrown onto the street. And all of this in the name of the so-called law. The laws that were set out by our government. The laws that make the commoners only more vulnerable and the wealthy more protected. We are not only from the British Empire. Some of us are from the New Lands, America, Australia, and we are many. But men we are still, and we are merry for that we stopped being afraid. For those powers that be had done their best to plant the fear inside our souls, and we accepted it so easily. The fear advised us to keep our heads bowed. It prevented us from fighting. Bankers and politicians, they own our lives, our work, our bread, and they push us to compete between each other, just to see who may serve them better. But in the end, they are the few, so they are weak. They are nothing without their titles. We should not fear them. Our so-called masters should fear us instead. The time has come for our group to stand tall. Our great and many merry men. We are going to blow up the London Stock Exchange. No life shall be lost. But ownerships, debts, and property titles? They shall all be destroyed. They're only papers, after all. So many people will be freed over this night.
That is a radical step to take. What result do you truly expect?
Chaos. But soon people will understand that they are free, and that they don't belong to anyone. They will be able to work for themselves, together, without letting the rulers dictate what to do, and finally justice will arise.
What you are intending to do is a crime. It is not justice.
How do you see justice, then? Kids go to prison for a loaf of dry bread. And how many lords do you see punished for stealing from their people? Sending them to their deaths in mines or overseas to fight for land? Our masters wouldn't hear us. So now it's time to sing the song of the merry men. Will you let us do our duty?
Ох, блин, еще тут выбор делать надо. Вообще без понятия. Да и что делать? То, что они хотят сделать, это преступление, конечно, там, но без жертв. Или бросить все, или разрешить, или не разрешить им. Отпустить, не отпустить их. Блин, как же все сложно. Блин. Вообще не знаю, что взять. Вроде и туда, и сюда, и туда, и сюда. Ох, как ж. Сейчас у меня просто разрывается все тут. Не знаю, что сделать. Так, ну отпустить их или не отпустить? Ведро с водой или в порох бросить сигарету? Так, ну они хотят там что-то взорвать, как площадь, или что-то хотят, что-то там взорвать хотят, но без жертв, они сказали. Чисто, чтоб народ потом не зависел ни от кого там, что-то такое он там рассказывал. Блин, ну давайте сюда кинем. Все-таки не будем.
When people fight the order, they are too blind to see the consequences that throw society into chaos. I shall stop your actions, but not you. Run. Now!
Нет, ну я думаю, что я правильно сделал. Он их отпустил, но не дал им совершить то, что они хотели.
You're interested in Russian literature now?
Quite lately.
It is an interesting book. I remember a few lines.
Really? I tried reading it myself, but I had a hard time understanding it.
Yes, Doctor. It's about intelligence. Sherlock, I vaguely recall one of the lines. Sometimes it takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently. There were also a few words along the lines of pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. Tell me, Doctor, does my brother show any signs of pain or suffering?
Not that I know of.
Because you see, Doctor, behind all of his masquerade, my brother does possess a deep heart. So deep that he does not recall where he places his love.
Well, I'm sure that...
His love and his duty that, in the first place, should be directed towards the Empire. For without it, we would be nothing. A country filled with uncivilized men.
And the Empire needs order and discipline. It has no room for chaos.
People who commit crimes, or at the very least intend them, deserve punishment, Sherlock. Without justice, there can be no civilization.
But we serve the truth, not justice.
Your truth, Doctor, that may prove immoral. Allowing people to terrorize London, destabilizing the whole empire.
Terrorize only the powers whom you serve, Mycroft. Not I, not Watson, not Mrs. Hudson, not Wiggins.
Sherlock, the merry men are to be stopped.
Not by me. You created the merry men. Stop them yourself. Only make sure that you don't create 10 more merry men by arresting the one.
Good night, Dr. Watson.
Anything in the post, Watson? Any clients worthy of our attention?
Only a second reminder from Mrs. Hudson about our new neighbour. She urges you to remove your...
Oh, I don't care about that.
Holmes, the lady who will be moving in shortly has requested the use of our spare room to place all of her boxes.
Wait, what? A lady?
Ну, да, все правильно, месть Фоли. Принять версию, отлично. Фух, ну что ж, друзья, наконец-то я прошел Шерлока Холмса. Очень понравилось, конечно. Хотелось бы еще поиграть. Мало было, конечно, дел. 5, по-моему, или 6 дел всего в этой части. Очень затянула игра, и я с нетерпением жду продолжения этой замечательной игры. Ну, а на этом все, друзья. Кому понравилось, не забываем ставить лайк, подписываемся на мой канал. И всем до скорых встреч!